Narcissists often have this reputation for being very smooth and cagey. They're often seen as master manipulators and well-oiled machines who could talk anybody into anything. This is undoubtedly true about some of them and in some situations, especially when you consider that most people are easy to fool because they're not listening to somebody with the idea that they're being tricked or that they're being lied to, and therefore they're not evaluating people in that way. But even the most calculated narcissist is prone to magical thinking, and this magical thinking often causes them to be very gullible and easy to manipulate. They can come across as almost shockingly naive in some situations. For example, it's not uncommon to hear that narcissistic people are the victims of scams or that they've been preyed upon by con artists. When speaking with clients, I actually hear that all the time. It seems ironic that a personality which can be so paranoid and suspicious would be relatively easy to fool, but it is pretty common. We've all heard the saying, if something is too good to be true, it probably is. Pathologically narcissistic people have never found something too good to be true, at least not initially. They become seduced by the reward or the prize, and they focus on that to the exclusion of everything else. It isn't that they don't know unscrupulous people exist or that humans sometimes manipulate other humans. Of course they know that. Not only do they do it, but even if they're unaware of their own behavior, they often believe that other people are doing it to them or attempting to do it all the time. It's that they want it to be true or real, and in the world of the narcissist, feelings are facts. It's real because they feel it is. It's true because they feel it is. People with very strong narcissistic pathology are like children in many ways. Children are very easy to manipulate, not just because they have no experience or wisdom to draw upon or with which to know better, but because their feelings overwhelm their reason easily. The desire to see a cute puppy overwhelms the continuous warnings they've been given about not talking to strangers. The difference is that most children will learn from experience as they mature. They will learn wisdom, they will learn reason. Pathologically narcissistic people don't seem to mature in this way, and therefore they don't learn from their experiences. They rarely seem to be able to master control over impulses and feeling. They will get into the stranger's car to see the puppy 50 times, even if all of the other 49 times resulted in something bad happening. They want to see the puppy, and that's more important than anything. Consequences are not considered. They do have adult cognition, but it's so affected by their perception that it's often useless in these situations. Nothing that disagrees with their desires or their feelings will be acknowledged, and if it's pointed out, it will be justified, rationalized, or otherwise made irrelevant if it gets in the way of their pursuit of what they want. This is dangerous, as we can see in the often constant self-sabotage and crises that these personalities manage to provoke in their own lives. All they can see is what they want, and in many situations, this results in a kind of gullibility that seems to contradict their suspicious nature. When they are legitimately played for fools, this can be devastating to them. Not only is the shame of this perceived failure absolutely titanic for the pathologically narcissistic personality, especially if it's something other people are going to find out about, but now they have to face the fact that they're not going to get what they want. In some cases, this can lead to a collapse or what we call decompensation and even suicidality. As a side note, many people question the idea that narcissists feel shame, and we often find that this is because people are confusing shame with remorse. Remorse requires empathy. Shame does not. Shame is not remorse. Remorse is for other people, and shame is for the self. Remorse is, I did something bad. Shame is, I am bad. Narcissists feel that they're bad without really acknowledging that they've done anything wrong. It's a very neat trick in the way that this personality structure is set up. In other words, instead of feeling, I feel bad because I did something wrong, which would be remorse related, it's I did something wrong because I am bad, which is very different. It's shame for the self that is very deep-seated and is not related to anything they've actually done in any real sense. It's much deeper than that, and it goes back much further than that. Some narcissists are so disconnected from their own feelings that they may not even be aware that this is what they're feeling, but this deep-seated, ever-present shame is a central feature of the pathologically narcissistic personality structure. It is, in many ways, the driving force of nearly all of their behavior in one way or another. Almost everything is a reaction to it somehow, either because they're overwhelmed by it, or because they're desperately trying to combat it or to avoid confronting it. When their gullibility is exposed in some way, when they've been taken advantage of, for example, narcissistic people often react very poorly to this. Their weakness has been put in public for all to see, and worse, they've been forced into a situation where they can't pretend it's not there. Remember, the narcissist is putting on a show for nobody more than themselves. The shame attached to this exposure is intolerable for the truly pathologically narcissistic personality. There may be rage, hysteria, complete and utter just denial, discard, and even decompensation that can lead to psychosis and even death. It's a very serious situation for this ultimately fragile personality structure that must be avoided at all costs. Unfortunately, this is often where other people get caught in the situation. They can see that the narcissist, for all of their bluff posturing and grandiose saber rattling, really isn't capable of navigating the world on their own or of watching out for themselves, and then people will take it upon themselves to be the narcissist's self-appointed guardian and protector. It doesn't take long, though, for people to realize that the narcissist resents this enormously. They don't want this kind of help, nor do they want to be taught how to do these things for themselves. All anyone receives for their caring is abuse and misinterpretation of their motives. Until the narcissist needs something, of course. If you find yourself in this situation, realize two things. One, you're probably not wrong in your assessment of their abilities to navigate the world, but two, it's not your responsibility to control the behaviors of another adult, and that is what this is. As hard as it can be to accept, we are not responsible for other adults in this way, and we have no right to impose ourselves on others in this fashion. This is not about tough love, it's about reality. They don't want your help, and even if they said they did, they're obviously unable to take it. If the narcissist in your life is making decisions that put you or your children in danger or causing crises in your life, trying to manage or control them is not the answer. Not only is it toxic and infantilizing, it doesn't even work. You can't control the behavior of other people. You can't stop them from making bad decisions or keep them from being taken advantage of if they are bound and determined that this is what they're going to do. All you can do is decide whether you can allow the things they are doing in your life and respond accordingly.
Narcissists are addicted to fame. They are addicted to being known or talked about by many people, not because they have achieved anything significant, not because they have attained something with effort, skill, or courage, but because they believe they are inherently deserving of privileges or special treatment. They have a strong sense of entitlement. They desire to be liked, admired, and supported by many people. As I have said in a previous video, the narcissist is dependent on our reactions. They are dependent on what we do, feel, or think in response to what they are doing. It feeds them. It makes them feel as though their false self exists. When you respond to what they are doing, you are acknowledging their false self. You are supporting their delusional fantasy. This is why they have to be the center of attention. They have to be the person who excites everyone's interest or concern. Even if they are the center of an argument and everyone hates them, it still makes them feel as though they exist. They are always checked to see if people notice them. If some time goes by and no one has noticed them, they feel as though they don't exist. So they always have to do something to make people notice them. they will do whatever they have to do to become famous. It's not because they actually enjoy what they are doing. It's not because it's something they are passionate about. They're just doing it because it gives them the attention and admiration that they need. They're just doing it because it makes people notice them. They're not passionate about what they're doing. They're addicted to people's reactions to what they're doing. They don't really enjoy their work. They enjoy the results of their work. They rank the quality, proficiency, or value of the hobbies, activities, or people in their life, not by the satisfaction or enjoyment that they provide, but by how useful, profitable, or beneficial they might be. They only care about things that will make them publicly acknowledged. In the narcissist world, everything can be divided into two groups. Things that leave them deprived of attention and admiration.
Got no.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But before that, I had used the restroom on myself. When I was asked, I need to use the restroom. I need to use the restroom, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the fistula.
Mm-hmm.
And they refused me to use the restroom, and I actually used the restroom on myself. And then
And things that make people react to them. They have no care or passion for these hobbies, activities, or people. All they really care about is the reactions that they might generate, the attention and admiration that they might provide for them. They want to be famous. They want to be known by many people. It makes them feel powerful. It gives them the ability to direct and influence people's behavior and the course of events. It provides them with a constant source of narcissistic supply. It boosts their false sense of self-worth, self-esteem, and self-importance. It makes them feel special, as though they are better, greater, or different from what is usual. They don't really care about bad publicity. They don't care about things that might cause harm to their reputation. As long as they remain the focus of public attention, that's all that really matters to them. What bothers them is when they are not getting attention, when they are not getting publicity. They hate it when people do not take notice of them. It makes them feel as though they don't exist. And when they begin to feel that way, they will do whatever it takes to get it back. They will do whatever it takes to get people to focus on them again. They will become disruptive and excessively extrovert. Some narcissists will even physically attack you just to get you to pay attention to them. Narcissism is everywhere in the media these days. It's all over Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. They all want attention and admiration. They don't care about you. They only care about how you react to them. They act as though they're happy and they love themselves. But secretly they are miserable and they regard themselves with disgust and hatred. Just as they secretly feel worthless and insignificant, yet they portray an image of superiority. However these narcissists portray themselves is always the opposite of how they really feel. They are trying to trick you into believing that they're something they're not. When what they're trying to be isn't something that they're even interested in. All they're really interested in is people's reactions to what they're doing. It is the reactions that make them feel alive. It makes them feel as though their false self exists. They don't really care about being famous. They're more focused on people's reactions to their fame. That's what they're addicted to. That's what makes them feel special and important. But it comes from external sources. It's not generated from within. They are living a lie. But if they can get people to agree with it, it makes it more believable for them. And that is why they obsessively promote it. That is why they buy likes or subscribers. They already know that it isn't real. They know that's not who they really are. They know that's not what they're really about. But if they can get people to believe it, it makes it more believable for them. However people react to it is then how they will react to it. Which is why all they're really focused on is people's reactions. That is the only thing that has any value or significance to them. It is the only thing that makes them feel alive. Thank you for watching.
Don't you want to become a cult leader? Since the death of God, there's been a vacancy open. You could fill that void. Here's how.
Or when someone's trying to get you into a cult, usually if you get into a cult, you want friends or you have heard there's orgies. So you will say something to the cult leader like, yeah, I do believe there's aliens. And the cult leader will be like, we do too. We do too. And not only that, but we believe that if you suck my dick, you will see more aliens.